Today we will look at the nitrogen cycle. Now, as I've said in previous videos, with any cycle there is always an important stage to pick where you're going to start from and run one full cycle back to that point. With the gas exchange cycles, we'll always start from the atmosphere. So, nitrogen gas is in the atmosphere. This is an inert gas. We know this from urate breathing. You inhale air with 78% nitrogen, you exhale air with 78% nitrogen. We cannot access it. It has no use to us as a gas. Lucky for us, plants can absorb nitrogen, but not directly. This is not photosynthesis. We need a helper. And anywhere that there is helpers, there is bacteria. What needs to happen is the gas of nitrogen needs to be combined with oxygen to form nitrates. These nitrates enter the soil, absorbed into the water, move by active transport and osmosis into the roots, and the plant assimilates these nitrates into amino acids and ammonia compounds. How? There is a bacteria, nitrogen-fixing bacteria. This bacteria converts nitrogen gas into ammonium and ammonia compounds, which can then be further converted into nitrates for the plant to assimilate. This bacteria harnesses the gas atmosphere nitrogen and through a series of chemical reactions converts it into ammonium. This is then accessed by another bacteria, nitrifying bacteria, which convert it further into nitrates. This is how plants access nitrates. This is how plants build amino acid. This is how plants build protein. Plants grow big and strong. Animals eat plants. Animals eat other animals. And those nitrogen compounds are absorbed and assimilated into our bodies. Amino acids, structure, protein, formation. All living creatures excrete. When animals or humans go to the bathroom, we urinate. Urination contains urea. Urea, use your chemistry brains, is a nitrogen-based compound. So, we now have nitrogen gas being locked inside plants by nitrogen-fixing bacteria. Their job is to work on nitrogen gas. We also have urea, an ammonia-based compound being released from excretion of animals. Therefore, a different bacteria has to work on these urea-based compounds, these ammonia-based compounds. That would be nitrifying bacteria. Ammonia compounds and excreted waste is converted by nitrifying bacteria into the nitrites and the nitrates back into the plant, assimilation, regrowth of the plant. These two bacteria are harnessing the gas nitrogen and the excreted waste nitrogen back into the plant. There is no such thing as good and bad bacteria. Bacteria are bacteria are bacteria. But for our purposes, we can think that these two are good bacteria. They are turning the nitrogen into a nitrate we can use. They are converting the waste back into a nitrate that we can use. There is another type of bacteria which has the bad job, inverted commas, denitrifying bacteria. These bacteria convert nitrates, the precious nitrates from the soil, back into atmospheric nitrogen gas, which escapes into the air, making it useless to plants and animals again. We find these in waterlogged soils. We find these in boggy areas. These are bacteria which tend to use anaerobic respiration as opposed to aerobic respiration. These bacteria release the precious nitrates back into the atmosphere, thereby restarting the nitrogen cycle. Using animal waste is perfectly fine for recycling of carbon and nitrogen compounds. However, man-made fertilizer and the process of making man-made fertilizer is a large polluter of the atmosphere and is detrimental to the actual ecosystem surrounding, for example, a farmer's field where fertilizer is used. We will cover this in a different video, but for now, we need to understand the cycle, and we need to understand that the man-made addition to this cycle is man-made artificial fertilizer added to the ground to re-nitrify it when these processes, these natural processes, are not good enough or quick enough.